name's David Dukes. I work as a civil servant at the law courts. I've got into, one of my hobbies is running, and I got into that about 8 years ago. We set up Destination Borough, just linked in with the running side and the well-being side of running, and to kind of bring the community together. Prior to us setting it up in 2016, myself and Dean and Jeff, we kind of just did our own little challenge the year before called the 3,000 miles challenge. I put a bit more weight on at the time as well, and Dean and Jeff had put on weight, and we decided we'd just do something between us, 3 fat dads from Middlesbrough. We'll do a little bit of a kind of running challenge between us. We'll run 1,000 miles in a year. It was just the 3 of us to begin with. We set up a Facebook page and Twitter page, and we just kind of run it out to the running community and just people in general. If you want to join us, get in touch. This is what we're doing it for. We're just going to try and raise some money for charities. We're going to try and raise a bit of awareness that exercise and running is good for you. And I think we ended up with about 140 runners that first year. So we had all different kind of people getting in touch with us saying, can I take part? When we set the challenge up, we always said we'd do it for the charity side as well. And I think off the top of my head, I think it's about £10,000 that we've raised since we kind of set it up for various charities. Since Destination Borough started, it's around about the £10,000 mark that we've raised for local charities. And that's great, and we continue doing the charity side. But for me, it's all about bringing people together, helping people, really. Like I said, whether you're going along for your own little goal of training for a marathon or a half marathon or a 10K, or you're going along for your mental health, or if you're going along for your physical health, it's more about that for us. Yeah, I think my first experience with it was when I lost my mum. That would have been in 2011. Yeah, me and my mum were really close. We were close in the family. I grew up with my 2 brothers, my dad. All of us are really close, and it was kind of like losing the head of the family when we lost her. She doted on her grandchildren, and I think it was just really hard for us to hit. I mean, she was only 62 as well, so it was quite young, and it just kind of, it was a quick illness and a quick kind of condition that she had. She got diagnosed in the January of 2011, and then we'd lost her by August. I think we all struggled in our own way, but me being me, I thought I was just dealing with the grief side myself, by doing what I was doing, not talking about it, not talking to my wife, not talking to my family. It was kind of like, I need to try and sort this myself. But by doing that, the grief then turned into kind of the depression side, and again, doing that kind of male thing of not telling people that I was struggling with the loss. So I started to just binge eat. That was my way of coping. I would just eat food, and it was just getting more and more out of control. That was my way. When I was feeling down and sad, I would eat. And then as I was eating more, I was putting more weight on, then I was starting to not like the way that I looked or the size of me. I was finding myself being physically unfit, so I couldn't keep up with the kids. The kids were a lot younger then, so I couldn't keep up with them and play with them. And it was just that spiral of the food helped, but then I felt dreadful after it. And it was just that continuous kind of vicious circle then of basically eating to cope. I then kind of, I don't know what it was, I just kind of made this decision to do something for my mum to try and help me cope, which was train for 2 kind of races, a 5K and a 10K, and that's what kind of got me into the running. But I was like 16 stone at the time, so I was in no fit state to do any sort of running. So at first I just tried and concentrated on a little bit of weight loss before I started getting into the running and then the training for the 5K and the 10K. But even at that point, when I had that in my head to start doing the fitness side and the running, I had nothing to do with the mental health side. It was more to do with my physical well-being and getting myself slimmed down. It was only afterwards that I started to kind of realise the benefits of running on your mind as well as your body.
I currently work as a community mental health nurse, which means supporting people with mental health difficulties within their own home. There's always been a stigma around men's mental health, or at least about admitting to it and talking about it. And I think that's probably stems from, it goes back from school and boys and expectations. And so yeah, I don't think I think maybe there's a modern recognition of it, but it's always been the case that it's without a doubt is more difficult to admit to failures, to admit to difficulties as a man or a boy. I think more men commit suicide than women because there's no again, there's no escape. There's no there's no feeling that you can talk and release things and let out your emotions and let out your worries. So again, everything's sort of bottled up and kept inside, and there seems to be no outlet, no escape. Coupled with the fact that you're also trying to promote this idea that, or men feel this pressure to promote the idea of coping, and if you can't cope, then there's nothing else.
So part of Destination Borough was to kind of, once we got it set up, was to have people to write their own blogs. And I think the very first one was from me. And I did it around what we've already discussed about losing my mum, and how kind of running helped with regards to that, helped me physically and mentally. And then again, we just kind of rolled it out to the rest of the people that were involved in the challenge. I would agree that I think any sort of kind of release for men would be typing, doing blogs, doing vlogs, doing some sort of kind of like video talk to kind of speak about it, because, and you are probably right, yeah, I think it's kind of, we've got it out there and it's gone now. And if anyone wants to speak to us about it, they can come to us rather than have that conversation one-to-one with someone, which most of the time males don't like. We don't kind of like to be challenged and asked about the feelings. I think we like to get it on paper, it's out there, and we just send it out.
Now the big question is, well, what can be done to help the stigma around mental health, or can be done to encourage men to talk about their feelings and emotions? I think crucially, it very much needs to start at school. There should be a real emphasis on boys being able to share and explore and express emotions.
I think it's just getting the message that there's definitely support out there. There's definitely support networks. You've got your local minds, you've got your GPs that you can go to, you've even got family and friends that you can just go to and speak to, and making sure that they know that they're not alone.